Hey, what's up, Bae? I'm excited to announce my new Webflow app, Variables Bae. This is all about creating primitive variables for complex design systems fast in Webflow. What does that mean? So we're actually using algorithmic algorithms in order to create size, typography, and color variables in Webflow. Hey, I've also got a way to do it manually and from Figma, so stay tuned for that. As well, stay tuned for the end of the video. I'm going to drop a discount on a license. This app is free, but there is a license to get rid of some nagware. Watch, let me close this and I'll go ahead and reopen Variables Bae, and we're going to see a pop-up that says, this pop-up is brought to you by that you've been using the app for free for too long. Buy a license to break the cycle. Hey, buying a license helps me make more apps like this. So if you find it useful, go ahead and do that. If you get a license, it's only 19 bucks, but the discount is at the end of the video. All right, so what does this app actually do? Let's say we want to create some size variables in Webflow. These defaults are looking pretty good. We've got a min value, a max value, a step. If I up the step to something like 2, we can see we have fewer variables, and we actually want the step to be 0.5, makes a lot more sense. We can also shift this over to pixels if we want to, have our whole design system in pixels, but I'm going to choose rem for now. And you can even change the easing here. I don't know who's going to use this. I think linear is going to be used by 99% of you. And we can also create a folder and a name for our variable. We see that populate over here. Let's click Save to Webflow. And that is finished. Let's go ahead and see. Now we've got spacing and space variables all over here. Now, okay, we've got spacing and size. Let's hit up typography. Now we're in typography. Again, we can use pixels or rem. I'm going to use rem with a base font size of 16 pixels. And we can choose our scale here. And we can also choose to generate styles, and notice there's this style prefix. Now let's go ahead. We have invalid element selected down here. All right, so I'm just going to click on the navigator here. We'll click on the body, and now we'll click Save to Webflow. And if I go ahead and collapse the navigator, we see we've got a text style small, we've got a paragraph, and we have all of our heading styles with Webflow styles right here, and the corresponding variable is attached to it. If I head over to the Variables tab, we see all of our variables right here in the Variables panel. Okay, that's typography. Now let's go to color, which was my favorite one to build and also the most complex here. So what we can do is we can adjust our hue and we can adjust our color space down here. Say we want HSL. I think this is a little bit too saturated. So I've made the default here OK HSL, and RGB tends to be way too muted for my taste. But you have a bunch of different options here depending on what you want to do. But let's do like OK HSL. We can bring the saturation down as much as we want. I'm going to go to 90% here. We can set the start lightness. So if you see down here, there's 5% and 99% of what we want the limit colors to be. So we could, add a little bit more padding on either end. And then we can also do fewer or more steps. Let's do something like 5 steps. Hue shift is super cool. Some colors look brighter at different lightnesses. Some colors look darker. So if we wanted to do a minor hue shift, we could do that. Or we could even do a crazy hue shift like 60 and get some really cool color palettes this way. So just a lot of little options here. I think I've made some pretty sensible defaults for you, but we can also do some different curves for how we want to traverse the color space. I think linear makes sense for a lot of them. This makes sense when you see more steps. Yeah, so there's ease in out. Let's do like an ease out expo. And now you're really seeing how that lightness value is translating on that easing curve. Okay, so let's go back to linear, and we've got a nice blue here. I think we've gone through everything. Oh, check this out. It also calculates contrast for different colors. So let's say this is a nice blue. Maybe our brand blue is like this one or something, and we're trying to match that up. We give it the hue and the saturation and the lightness values that we want. Now what we can do is we can take this color right here, and we'll say that that's our text color light, and this is CFF4FC. Okay, so now this is our light text color here. This value is this value. And then if we take 032430 as our text color dark, let's do 032430. There we go. Now we have our color contrast checker, and we can see that using this light color on top of 1D829C gives us a failing color contrast. So we want to target these AAA values so that we can get really nice contrast for accessibility in our colors. Okay, now let's go ahead and save these to Webflow. All right, that has finished. Let's just verify that those were all plugged in. Look at that. We've got Vaporwave Blue 1, Vaporwave Blue 2, 3, 4, all the way through 10. And now we could use these as variables in our semantic tokens if we wanted to do that. And it's got a kind of smart color naming here. We can see as I'm adjusting the hue slider, if you look at the bottom left, We got Hello Spring down here. Let's see if we can get Herbivore. We've got Virtual Golf. And as you change the saturation to, we get NY Taxi. So I had a lot of fun with that. All right, manual. If you want to start plugging in your variables manually, I give you a way to do that just using tabs so you can get it all done. So let's say we wanted to do some smaller spacing variables like 125, sure, 0.125 rem, 5, like 0.5, and then actually let's do a 0 like that. I don't know if numbers will work. So 0.5 rem and then 0.75 and 0.75 rem. Okay, so now we see we've got some values, and let's make a big one too. 100 is 100 rem. Let's bring it down some. Let's see until we see it. Boom, boom, boom. 50, no, 25. Let's do something a little more. There we go. I think we already have 12.5 rem. What do we have in our spacing? We have up to 10, and we have down to 1. So these are making sense. The number there works. And then we can set size and color variables, and we have all these different units to choose from, but let's save to Webflow now. And that was finished. Look, it worked. So now we can come in here, and we have our 0, 125, 05, 075, and 100. We should have renamed this. Of course, we can always come in and rename it just like that. Stupid names, but hey, we're just trying to prove a point here. All right, so that's manual. Now let's see how to import from Figma. I linked to the Figma plugin that I used to get the JSON for that, but we can just click upload JSON. All right, and here's a primitives that I've already prepared. I bring that in, and we can see we've got all of these different variables that we're exporting from Figma. And we have an option, we can do different modes. We can only do one mode at a time though. So let's go ahead and look at our brutal theme. We'll add the mode to the variable name, and we will also convert pixels to rem so that we have rems right here. So we can just get rid of that. Notice this is 0, so it makes sense that those are 0. And then we're gonna get all these colors as well. So we can save these to Webflow now, and boom, that's finished. If we come in here, we've got our brutal theme, color, brand, watermelon, cherry, pear. Those are all set to the same because it's modes in Figma that we're working with. If I come back here and go to the modern theme, we'll see that these make a little more sense with the naming structure. So let's go ahead and we will just save these to Webflow as well. And since we added the mode name on top of that, it makes it means that we're not going to have duplicates. So we have modern theme, color, watermelon, cherry, pear, mushroom, radish, and we have all of our grays here. We have the modern theme radiuses here. So from here, what you could do is create your semantic naming, like color brand or color accent, or sizing large, sizing tiny, and then really build out a complex system very fast here. So that is everything that we have here. Again, go ahead and click Get License, and I'll put a limited time discount for the $19 license, which I'm planning to use for a lot of apps going forward that I'm continuing to build. So this is the lowest price it's ever going to be, and you're going to get a discount on this $19. I haven't decided how much, probably something pretty nice. So yeah, buy that now, check out the app, and I hope it helps. All right, see ya.